Fear not. Welcome to day 10 in our series. Our scripture lesson is taken from Numbers chapter 14 verse 9. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. Fear is the opposite of faith. It is said that the phrase fear not is recorded 365 times in the Bible. This indicates how easily human beings resort to fear, so God needs to counsel us daily, fear not. Fear paralyzes. Fear is an emotion induced by perceived danger or threat, which causes physiological changes and ultimately behavioral changes, such as fleeing, hiding, or freezing from perceived traumatic events. Fear causes us to doubt God's ability to save, doubt God's ability to protect, and doubt God's ability to deliver. The Abrahamic covenant included not only that he would be the father of many nations, but that they would possess the land of Canaan. Genesis 15 verse 7. Here in Numbers 14 we see God standing ready to deliver on his promise. The camp of Israel is now in Kadesh Barnea, basically on the coast or border of the promised land. But the unfavorable report of 10 spies paralyzed the Israelites with fear, making them unable to possess their inheritance and incapable of moving forward. Oddly, the same people who came through the Red Sea on dry land and witnessed the overthrow of Pharaoh and his army are now virtually at a standstill and now in a chaos, all because of fear. It is interesting to note that the description of the 10 spies corresponds to the promise of God. The land flowed with milk and honey and was fruitful, Numbers 13:27. But they chose to focus on the size of the people that lived in the land. Ironically, the same Israelites who have vanquished the Amalekites before, Exodus 17:30, were now fearful of the children of Anak. What had changed? Nothing except their attitude was now fear instead of faith, despite Moses' admonition to not be fearful because God would fight for them. Deuteronomy 1:29-30. Fear strips God's protection. God revealed his presence to the children of Israel through the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of cloud by night. This represented not only the presence of God but also the protection of God. He is our defense, Psalm 94:22. However, we have to exercise faith in him in order to benefit from his protection. When we are fearful, we are not trusting but doubting God's defensive capabilities. The children of Israel found themselves in this position in our text. Their unbelief caused them to utter words that took them outside of the realm of God's protection, because fear drives away the presence of God. But Ephesians 6:16 tells us that faith is a shield, and we know that one cannot act in faith and fear at the same time. So if we are fearful, if we are not under the faith shield, but exposed to the darts of the enemy, fear makes us pray. Without God's protection, we are like sitting ducks, just pray, waiting certain destruction. 1 Peter 5:8 tells us that the devil goes about seeking whom he may devour. In other words, seeking what prey he may consume. Conversely, in Psalm 91, the shadow of the Almighty offers protection and refuge from all predators and wiles of the devil. But one can only access the shadow of the Almighty through faith. The children of Israel who acted fearfully in unbelief became prey. They all died in the wilderness. Let us endeavor to avail ourselves of the protection and defense of the Almighty, not fearing, but by taking the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit, that we may be able to enter in the promised rest of God. Fear removes your protection and makes you pray. Join us tomorrow as we continue in our series, Fear Not. God bless you.